Perhaps the bard knows some of my favorites. Unless my taste in music is too antique, of course.
Let's do Jaheira next.
Well, now. You can make yourself presentable when you have a mind to.
Makes one of us. Learned a lot since we last met. What kind of greeting is that? I miss you too, Jaheira.
How nice to be understood again. I have spent the past months bickering with builders and bankers, all to restore the city exactly as it was. Same twisting alleys for purse pickers, same wooden buildings ready to get burnt by next year's dragon, same cisterns overflowing. Huh.
How do you think the rebuilding's going? What are the Harpers up to? I heard rumors the upper city was destroyed beyond reconstruction.
The upper city has been almost entirely rebuilt. That's where the gold is. Even the builder's scaffolds are cleared from the streets. No dust left to sneeze at. Baldurians simply get on with it. Stubbornness, civic spirit, plain stupidity. Perhaps all three. But nothing I will sniff at any longer. Harpers have come from half the world over to lend aid. Farmers, masons, healers. My own son, Jord, has been wooed to their ranks. Already he plans crop cycles in Worm's Crossing. Not so for my daughter. Ryan's rejoined the Flaming Fist. Temporarily, you understand. To organize the craftsmen. Though she spends more time locking up comrades for pocketing aid funds. They might learn a thing or two, if they don't expel her. Again.
Yeah, sounds like the Flaming Fist hasn't changed much. Even if the leadership has. All well and good, but what about you? I want to hear what you've been up to.
Honestly, much more sitting down than I'd like. Mistake me not. There is still much to be done. Plans to make, maps to be frowned over. But my children are more than capable of doing it. Even the young ones tire of me peeking over their shoulders. This night offers them a brief respite from me, at least. And this place, now I look at it, it is where you all spent your first night together, no? A fine spot for an adventure to begin. A fine spot indeed.
Do you have an adventure in mind?
Just a little wander, perhaps, to stretch the legs. I'll find my way back, as I always do. I admit defeat. Baldur's Gate is my home. But that is the thing about home. The only way to see it clearly is to leave and look back. For a little while, at least. For all your travels, I hope you have arrived where you want to be. Home. Whatever that means to you.
Yep, where we're standing right now is my home, even when I'm far away. No matter how far away me, the gate will always be first in my heart. My home's with Shadowheart.
Ah, sentiment. With the greatest affection, I can think of better ways to sour our stomachs. I must inspect the refreshments. You'll never know. Some ne'er-do-well might have tampered with the wine.
Let's see, Will's over there, and here's Karlach.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. He wasn't kidding. Witness, you mad bastard! You brought me back! Soldier. It's really you. I've missed you, man. Like, I've really missed you. And you're so clean.
How have things been in Avernus?
War's a dirty business, soldier. It's been exactly how you'd think. but having Will around has been incredible. Fucker's even better at killing devils than yours truly. We don't have much time to chat, but just knowing he's there makes all the difference. Oh, but hey, guess what we found? Cambion dropped a map with directions and blueprints for Zariel's own private forge. A fucking forge! Our current plan is to get in, grab a smith, and force him to fix old Rusty. Or maybe give me a brand new model that can live outside of Ernest. You haven't seen the last of old Karlach yet, soldier.
I hope not. Glad to hear you might be able to fix your heart. Yeah, I'll go. If anyone can survive Avernus twice, it's you.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Keep a bottle of something good in the icebox for me, huh? Mama Kay's coming home before too long. Can I look you up when I'm out?
You better, or I'll hunt you down myself.
Hey! That would be kind of fun, though. High-stakes hide and seek. Honestly, I'd be curious to see if you could land a blow or two. Gods, is it good to see you again. To be here, together. Hard not to get used to it all over again. This won't be the last time. I promise.
DLC. DLC.
Cool, fresh air. By the living gods, I need it.
Let's go talk to the bard up top.
You see, Boo? I told you our friend was near.
Melili? Melil? All those I's and little L's together make my dyslexia go crazy.
Oh, hello. Let me guess, you've got some suggestions about the music choice.
Bard option, of course. Tough gig.
You have no idea. You've no idea who I am. Withers couldn't even find a bard that knows who I am.
Oh, we have an option here. How do you know Withers? Go on then. What's your name? Bard deception. Of course, recognize the bard, greatest bard of all time. The famous you.
I owe him a favor. One he is eternally invoking. I thought honoring the worthy was a fair price to pay for Withers to pull me out of the fugue plane. Alas, one purgatory to another.
What were you doing in the fugue plane?
Languishing in obscurity. Cyric knew what he was doing when he punished me for that song, the prick. Before I was banished to the fugue plane, I had song prayers coming out the proverbial ears. Guess how many I get now? None.
You feel a pang of divine guilt. Musical prayers went out of fashion among bards when Melil, Lord of Song, offended the god Cyric and was ejected from the pantheon.
I'm washed up, I'm afraid.
Now we got the bard option. If I'd known Melil was invited to the party, I've gotten fancier wine. It's an honor.
You know? You're bloody right. It is an honor. Deep down, I knew you'd recognize me. You're a fellow bard, after all. What can I do you for?
He is the god of bards. Nothing, please. Carry on as you were.
Fantastical news. Carry on I shall.
Carry on, my wayward bard. Well, you could play something.
Greetings, O cultured adventurer. What can I do you for? Fantastical news. Carry on I shall.
let's see what conversation options we get from talking to everybody else twice.
I won't send too many letters back to the gate while I'm away. I will try to enjoy solace. But you look disbelieving.
Don't I always?
Look at this place. At us. This is the best party I've ever been to.
Check in with girlfriend.
Enjoying yourself, I hope.
Good to see everyone, yes.
I know. I'll have to stop myself from getting teary-eyed when it's time to say goodbye again. Let's make tonight count. The only regrets I want to hear about come morning should revolve around an excess of carousing and questionable dancing. Why, I feel better already.
It smells so good here.
I think we already got Gale's answer.
I can't believe this is real. It's quite...
Tar, have anything?
Do let me know if you spot a cozy corner near the fire for me, won't you?
After everything, this feels nice. A chance to take a breath, metaphorically speaking.
And there's Volo.
Ah, my dear friend, it's been an age, has it not? You're looking very well indeed. Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the post.
Uh-huh. Wonderful to see you, Volo. How have you been?
Busy as ever. Better that than the reverse, wouldn't you say? Every major publishing house on the Sword Coast has been vying for my upcoming book on the subject of our adventures together. I've gotten quite good at replicating your signature, so you needn't even bother with the release form. You might help me with the title, though. I'm considering The Hero and Me. What do you think?
The hero and I know.
I, me, it's all Volo as far as I'm concerned.
Uh-huh.
Perhaps, once the manuscript is finished, you'd even be willing to write a foreword? Or better yet, I'll write a draft and you can just sign your name. Better still, I'll sign it for you. Hmm? Ah, your success really has been wonderful for my reputation. But you mustn't let me hog your attention all night, my friend. You've many friends to chat to, and I'd love to listen in.
I'll bet you would.
Don't worry, friend. I'll be sure to send your royalties by post once the manuscript's published. I'm certain I have your address around here somewhere.
Cheers to you. Cheers to Withers. Cheers to all of us.
But we got a little bit more. See, we have a chest of grateful words here. Official guild letter. To the hero of the realms, we have followed your adventure closely from the day you fell from that doomed nautiloid to the final blow you struck the Neverbrain as it loomed over the Sword Coast. We are but a humble guild who pride ourselves in telling stories, not like the tales to be written of you for many years to come. How inspired we've been to witness your feats awesome and terrible, the lives you saved and sundered, the friendships you found. Thus, we thought to extend a greeting, to thank you for adventuring with such creative determination, such panache enough to touch the hearts of our number. With deepest gratitude, the Guild of Great Genius. So yeah, here are letters from all of the people who you helped in the game. To whom it may concern, Wivers gave me this address and said I could consider writing thus an update. The Iron Hand Gnomes are nearly beyond help, but I've managed to yoke them into something resembling a coherent force for innovation. We've been hired to assist in the city's reconstruction, and our steam-powered object motorizations are helping to move building supplies in every part of the city. It's nothing, really. I am well, I trust you are too. We deserve it after all, don't we? Bartus Root. Letter from Art. To an old acquaintance. I write to you now from the sunny porch of the Last Light Inn. A light breeze blows now and then.
Were we scrounging in barrels and crates for supplies when he could source these? God, I remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
Yeah, love that conversation back there. I write to you from the sunny porch of the Last Light Inn. A light breeze blows now and then. People are milling in and out, builders, visitors, the children of all ages in Halson's care. I can no longer hold a quill or eat without assistance. A kind friend is transcribing this for me. And now the music started back up. Faniel, rejoined with Oliver, has promised to be with me when the end comes, and as our old songs drift on the wind even louder, I know I have mere days left. But I do not fear it. If not for your help, this land would still be shrouded in darkness, and I'd still be lost within it. Know that my heart is full and happy, and I am grateful for my last moments. Do visit someday, and if you have time to stop by an old Flaming Fist graves, I know I'd love to see you. Art Karlach. Letter from Valeria. Salutations! I'm writing to request your help in a mysterious case has arisen since our Bali and bash a half-year ago. Regrettably, I've had to take credit for dispelling the Ball cult, in your absence, you understand, and am working on routing the remaining Ballists from our fair city with the newly promoted Blaze DeVille Fountainhead in tow, of course. This has made me a target. A false document bringing my name into ill repute has been made public. An alleged unpaid bar tab at the Elf Song. If you happen to be passing through with a bundle of coin, mayhaps you could be persuaded the management of my obvious innocence. Much obliged. Investigator Valeria, Sleuth of Helm. P.S. Any advice on getting Ballast blood out of cloth? My hat's not been the same since the murder tribunal. Some things never changed. Letter from Ravengard. Hero of Baldur's Gate, vanquished of the Absolute. The city is forever in your debt, for without your valor, your audacity, your sacrifice, it would not know renewal. It is not temples or inns and homes I speak of, but hearts. Baldur's Gate can never be the city it was before it suffered the Absolute's touch. And that is as it should be. The survivors have borne witness to the home's near destruction. They have come to regret turning a blind eye to the cruelty Gortash disguised as safety and security. And they understand, just as I have come to understand, that trust, compassion, and unity are the foundation of Baldur's Gate. Our gates are open once more to the disowned and the displaced. The Flaming Fist will learn to be true servants of the people. And I will devote myself toward ridding the gate of the shameful fears that allowed evil to enter our homes and sit at our tables. Yours, Older Ravengard. Let's see, letter from Arabella. Hey you, it's Arabella. You remember me, right? Bone Man once said I need to find balance. Where creation meets ruin, where morning meets midnight, the root of all being. Fancy talk. He was right, though. After I touched that idol in the grove, it was like a big tree started to grow in my head, and all these weird thoughts and feelings and powers sprouted on its branches like big black leaves. I had to figure myself out.
Good song, good company,
so I followed the weave.
good wine from the looks of it.
Like Bone Man said, I don't know how I knew what to do, I just did. After you scorched the brain, Beard Man showed up, said the weave led me to him, and me to him. He's teaching me how to make sense of all those leaves on my head tree. He says I need to use magic responsibly. He also says not to call him Beard Man. I'll let you know how it goes. Yeah, I believe that Beard Man reference is a nod to the god of nature, whose name in Forgotten Realms escapes me, but sounds like him. A small extract from a self-published polemic tabloid. A note is attached to the top. I will not be silenced. Needling with Evander. Friends, Baldurians, my people, consider our loss. Our lauded and benevolent patriarchs maimed. Our great upper city library is demolished. The very beating heart of our great city, the right to speak freely, dead upon the cobbles. Do you not see, my friends, Lord Gortash, formerly our greatest bar against the Absolute, is now smeared as a collaborator. His allies and colleagues tossed aside. Former publications of refute turning to censorious farces. I ask you. The pamphlet continues in much the same fashion. Looks like the editor got his comeuppance. Letter from Sebastian. After so long in a vampire cell, I'd almost forgotten how to write. Never mind what to write. But what can you say to the person who unlocked your cage and gave you your life back? Or gave us some kind of life, at least. After you killed Cazador and opened our cells, we fled into the Underdark. There are thousands of us, a ravenous wave, mad with freedom and out for blood. And gods did we find blood. We swarmed every monster and unfortunate in our path, drinking what we could. We lost hundreds along the way, some to beasts, but most just disappeared into the dark. It wasn't easy, but eventually Cazador's house spawn calmed us and took control. We found some old ruins we call home, and we've been there ever since, building new lives for ourselves. We're not free down here, the dark will chain us forever, but we aren't the prisoners we once were either, and that's thanks to you. You looked in our cages and saw people, not monsters, and here, down in the shadows, we're trying to live up to that. Thank you now and forever, Sebastian. Letter from Floric. Dear friend, I doubted you for so long. Perhaps you knew that already in spite of my best attempts. You proved yourself time and time again, at Joaquin's Rest in Moonrise Towers and Worm's Rock, and still I doubted. Neverbrain's defeat should have proven your courage, yet I was more doubtful than ever. This was a ruse, a dream, a trick. And then one eve from the elf song I heard it, singing. A raucous, lewd, tuneless, drunken refrain. I'd never heard anything more terrible and more beautiful. I raised my voice and joined the chorus. That was the moment my doubts melted away and were replaced with something more valuable. Hope. Baldur's Gate will be whole again. I might have doubted you, but you never did. With profound admiration, Floric. Letter from the Gur. To the Spawn Asterian, greetings from the family of Ulma, hunters of monsters and keepers of peace across Faerun. We know this letter finds you well, for although we hunt you no longer, we do sometimes keep a watch. Your restraint and control over your bloodlust has been admirable. Indeed, it has been an inspiration to our own children who have struggled with their own hunger. These last months have been a difficult time for our people. We have protected and nurtured our children as best we can, and we have learned much. Herbs we once used to dull our foes' minds are now sedatives to ease hunger and pain. Restraints built to hold the undead now protect them from themselves. There's been a lot of pain, but a lot of progress as well. Our children have learned discipline and control, while we learned compassion and passions. There was a time we would have destroyed any undead creature, our own blood or not, and called it a mercy. But then we met you. We saw that redemption was possible. Difficult, yes. Painful, but possible. You saved our children, first from Cazador and then from us. For that, we thank you. We will watch you still.
Wish I'd had time to polish up the horns.
Oh my. We will watch you still, but with more admiration than fear. Walk in peace, Asterian. Let's see, letter from Hope. I had a dream last night. Not that there are any nights here, or any days. It was a dream about you, all of you, and you were here with me. And I had served bread and jam, note crackers and cheeses, and enough tea to quench a desert. You nibbled and sipped and smiled and laughed, and you asked if I was happy. Nobody has asked that for so long, I don't know if anybody's ever asked it at all. I didn't have the words to answer, so instead I led you through my house and showed you all the souls that are here with me. There were Raphael's once, but now they only belong to themselves. The archive is an art gallery, the boudoir is a grand kitchen, and the dungeon is a refuge for any wounded soul or creature that finds its way to us. Am I happy? I don't know. But I am Hope, and I persist because of you.
Oh, I can eat a beholder. What's cooking?
Letter from Nocturne. Dear Shadowheart, I hope that you are happy and well. I must keep this short as I remain surrounded by Shara's followers in almost every waking moment in my new enclave. I dearly wish for you to enjoy your night spent with old friends, and I hope that you and I shall share a reunion. I know it must seem strange for me to dwell on such heretical thoughts, yet I cannot help myself. Perhaps one day I shall find some measure of the bravery that you did and walk away from this life. Until then, I shall keep safe and hold memories of you as my one ember of light and notion of darkness. Until we find each other again, yours always, Nocturne. Letter from Elminster. Gale, my boy, I can only apologize for my absence from Winter's little gathering. As you know, only the most urgent of business would keep me from indulging myself. In his...
Were we scrounging in barrels and crates of supplies when he could source these? God, I remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
Let that thought get out again. Gale, my boy, I can only apologize for my absence from Winter's little gathering. As you know, the most urgent of business would keep me from indulging myself in his excellent taste in sweetmeats, and your own esteemed company, of course. I was delighted to hear that you came to your senses with regards to that cursed crown, and delighted yet further when I heard the orb's lingering presence no longer poses any threat. In that sense, at least, I hope you feel Mr. have treated you fairly. I trust you're enjoying your adventures. I have to say I struggle...
Quite a spread of food, for one comprising mostly of bone. Perhaps he wishes to live vicariously through the attendees' appetites.
I have to say I struggle to picture you outside of Waterdeep, or your library for that matter. Wherever your escapades take you, be sure to keep your larder well provisioned. After all, one never knows when an old friend might drop by. Elminster. Letter from Damon. Hey there. Would you mind passing this on to Karlach? Thanks a mill. Karlach, if you're reading this, you're alive, one way or the other. You found a way. Thank the gods. I think of you often, wondering what's become of you. Write to me, won't you? Please? Yours faithfully, Damon. Yeah, I hope something might happen with those two, but I think you might have to wait with Will. Letter from Alfra. Hello, friend. I'm sorry it's been so long, but I have the most amazing news. You know how Lacrissa was working insane hours at the Elfsong Tavern? Well, she woke up in the morning all excited and told me she had a surprise for me. She took me to a house in Lower City that had a plaque hanging up outside it. A plaque with your Lahill's names on it, and it read, School of Music beneath. I just burst into tears. I couldn't believe it. It's the cutest house you've ever seen, with a big open space downstairs and a small loft where we can sleep. Word spread before I knew I had a room packed with trainee bards from Candlekeep to Waterdeep. Lacrissa had to quit the elf song to help out. I'm teaching night and day and falling to bed utterly exhausted every night. And I've never been happier. Do come and visit sometime. We'd love to have you. Really? Lots of love, Alfria. And 3 more. Letter from Mayrina. Thought I'd reach out first for once. I finally had my baby, a beautiful boy. I can't believe I ever thought of giving him up. He screams his head off half the night, and I've barely slept, and he's the happiest I've ever been. Other than my wedding day, of course. I've decided to name him Connor after his dad. With Ethel gone, myself and some other hag survivors have started our own publishing house. We've only printed a few pamphlets so far, but I'm halfway through my first book. Me, an author! It's like something out of a dream. Mind you, it's all about how to kill hags, but you know what they say, write what you know. With every pamphlet we publish, more people show up to our support groups. As happy as that makes me, it breaks my heart to see how much harm Ethel did. But so long as I live, another hag won't set foot in Baldur's Gate, you have my word. Anyway, the reason I'm writing isn't just to talk your ear off, it's to say thank you for saving a scared young girl who thought she'd be a terrible mother.
Good song.
I couldn't have been more wrong.
And good wine from the looks of it.
Next time we meet, pints are on me. Mayrina. Then a letter from Nine Fingers. I'm not much for leaving my city, but it does gladden a girl's heart to be asked of the ball, so I'll thank you for that much. In my place, please accept a few casks of a fine vintage that managed to roll their way down from the upper city in all the commotion. The rebuilding has given rise to many such happy opportunities, worth discussing over a more civilized drink in my guild hall, if you find yourself at a loose end. Enjoy the muck, see if you get the High Harper to sing. You won't be disappointed. And finally, a harp-stamped letter. My friend, I hope this finds you wherever you are. I just wanted to thank you and ask a favor. I'm to be made a watcher. The High Harper put me forward to the Harper Council for service to the city. I'm not sure what that means, but I know if it wasn't for you, I'd be mucking out my mother's yard. I'm permitted to bring one guest to the ceremony who will name me watcher before the council. You spoke for me once before. I understand you're probably busy, but I'd be honored if you'd do so again. I await your reply whenever you can, but hopefully soon. Harper Gerdaldus. But there's more. We get to see a few more newspapers. 6 months since the assassination of Archduke Gortash. Witnesses encounter vampire spawn and live to tell the tale. Small Sun, tour new district built by Ulturian refugees. New Bardic School, Tiefling founder secures upper city funding. Monument plan for heroes of High Hall. And that does appear to be an outline of me, Karlach, Gale, and Shadowheart.
14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
Janeth House to host Evening of Art and Culture, celebrating Salvation of City. That'd be the Bard and his wife that we helped. Last holdout cultist cleared from Temple of Baal. Volo Famp Gedarm's Guide to Baldur's Gate. Bardseek's contributors to newest edition. Iron Throne wreckage continues block shipping lanes. Complain merchant. Settlers bound for lands upriver amid claims curse is lifted. Business boom. Take your troubles to the House of Grief. Well, I think that's probably been cleared up now.
Goodness has a keen eye for a nice vintage.
Ravengard returned to full strength.
Scrounging in barrels and crates for supplies when he could source these. God, I remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread.
Anyway,
to get by.
Umberly Priesthood tight-lipped over killings. Gondians disband. God's time has come and gone. Gondians no more. Wolburn Bungle's Iron Hand Gnomes take center stage. Iron Hands and Gondians rebuild. City's new era of ingenuity. Serial killer unmasks as crazed Baltist. Gif Yankee Knights help save city. Thorm's Arvy dispersed from Balduran borders. 6 months on Remazif's tower without his wizard. First stock interview with the new master of Remazif's tower. High Harper no more. Hero Druid goes to ground. Report, Stonelord killed by beloved ranger. Well, not quite. Almond Cakes of Avernus, Eltaran refugees and owners of the city's new cafe share their recipe. And Site of Foundry Blast still sectioned off.